So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. Let's being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me.
Hello, and welcome, everyone. It's time for another Mixing and Chilling with Hunky Vape. And as last week, our guest this week is Kenny the Vaping Heed.
Hi, all.
Hope you all are having a fantastic day. If you'll give me a moment, I'll go and turn down our music in the background. The fun multitasking. There we go.
Oh, we're happy now.
Just a little bit in the background. Very soft.
Bit like me inside.
Another fun-filled day. Might as well start off with our hand checks here. I've got my usual arbiter on the Dovepo Odin.
Well, as I'm not allowed to vape in the house, I'm still sitting with me little ether on me little mix.
There's nothing wrong with a little mouth to lung.
Nope.
I still have this Aspire Zella sitting here.
Oh, it's an awesome little kit, that. Mint. Your wife's got one of them.
Fantastic.
Zealous 3. Is that the Zealous 3?
Yeah, that's the latest one that they come out with.
Yeah, my wife's got one. Brilliant little kit.
Oh, yeah, and the new coils that they have for this, the new Nautilus coils, unbelievable. The flavor on this is Lord's mountains ahead of where it was when I first started.
Yeah. But
that thing had no flavor.
Yeah, but the beauty about that one is you can put the old Nautilus coils in as well. The kind of back catalogues, they're all fit. So you can take whatever you like. If you're a Nautilus coil fan. They are the good coils though, Nautilus. Fantastic coils.
Hey there, Mallory Gates. I want to let you know I finally got around to ordering that crust flavoring. So I'm going to be able to make your pecan pie. Unfortunately, it didn't get here yet, so it'll have to be next week. But I am looking forward to pecan pie for the holiday fall season ahead. Mrs. Hunky Vape, hello and welcome. She's at work as usual. Dusty Country Road says hello, Kenny.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry. Today I'm not looking at chat again. I'm terrible for this.
No.
Hiya, bud.
No worries. That's what I'm here for. Pop it on the screen and tell you about it.
Please excuse the gog, guys. I lost a tooth last week and I haven't visited the dentist yet, so my apologies if I'm scaring you.
No. I was just telling him, when I was young in high school, we took a trip over to Hungary to visit relatives. And while I was over there, borrowed a cousin's bicycle and went for a little drive around the village out in the country. Well, as is typical in rural areas, you make do with what you got. Well, this thing had a little fender over the front tire, and the one side was busted. And I didn't realize that it was busted because I went over a bump, and the fender caught the tire, like slammed the brakes on. So I literally did a cartwheel over the front of the handlebars, landed on my face, and busted out my front tooth. My mother's like, oh, we need to get you to the dentist. They drove to the neighboring town where the dentist was at. And she's like, put this tooth back in. And the dentist looked at her and said, are you crazy? What do you mean put the tooth back in?
Put it back in?
You can't just put it back in. It doesn't work that way.
No.
Well, see, in America, it does work that way. You put the tooth in, and then you create a little bridge between the neighboring teeth, and you glue those three teeth together. And yes, the root is dead in there, but it saves you from having to go and buy a fake tooth.
That's weird, I've never heard that one ever.
So we spent the rest of our vacation there and then came home and went to the dentist here. And by that point, all my teeth had started sliding together inside my mouth. So then I had to go through the whole thing of braces at an early age to open that all back up so that they could make a Maryland bridge, which is effectively the same thing that would have happened if they would have shoved a thing in there and then put a piece of metal across those three teeth and glued them all together.
Oh, God.
But
joys of riding pedal bikes, eh? The joys of riding the bikes.
And it does bring something else up. We talk about the science of vaping all the time, and it's like, I even pointed out my last article, not this past one, the week before, about how nicotine does not cause dental problems. But to be completely honest, it's the vegetable glycerin. Now, is that vegetable glycerin any worse than if you drank a cola? No. You still need to have good oral hygiene. You still need to brush your teeth. But it's no worse for you than drinking your cola or drinking an ale. Or I drink Jack Daniel's Southern Peach. And let me tell you, if I don't rinse my mouth out and drink some water before I go to bed, brush my teeth before I go to bed, I wake up in the morning and my mouth feels like cotton balls from all the stuff growing in there overnight. It's 10 times worse for you than just vaping and drinking water. Mallory Gates said smoking destroyed her teeth too. Yeah, that tar and the sugar from the tobacco, it settles on your teeth. And a lot of the toothpaste has it. A lot of the toothpaste has vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol.
Yeah, I think it's when you smoke, it's when you inhale as well, because you're actually sucking it through your teeth as well anyway, so it's going straight through your teeth, and it's hitting your teeth anyway, isn't it, when you inhale off a cigarette. So you're like sucking it through your teeth, so it's going to hit, it's going to damage them eventually. That's why they go yellow.
Sean Lynn says, how are you today, Vaping Heed?
I'm good, Sean. He's a little fella that follows me around here in the UK. He's always in people's chats. He's a cracking kid.
Good.
Nice to see you, sir. Nice to see you, mate. Again.
Definitely great. Definitely great to have all these people here. We're all one big family, community of vapors out there. Some of us are a little different than you, and you know what? That's all part of being in a community of people.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think that's part and parcel of it, the varied in all walks of life, you know what I mean? It's there's old, there's young, it's a varied thing. Without a doubt.
Now this is a cracking custard. We made this a couple of weeks ago. I just taken a look through my flavor list. See what the heck the recipe even was.
That's the strawberry one, yeah?
This was before that. The strawberry custard that we made last week.
Yeah, I remember.
I've got right here. It's wet, but I've nozzled drip a little. I was just explaining to him, for you guys out there that are starting a DIY, when you're going to do your DIY, do yourself a favor. Don't be wearing any kind of perfumes or colognes, or like in my case, I was just explaining to him, my wife got me beard oil. So, when I'm on TV on the YouTube, my shirt doesn't look like I got a bad dandruff. So I put the beard oil in, I come in and I'm like, let me test a couple of these flavors before we go live today. Way better now than it was when I first put that beard oil in. It masks the flavor of this. I'm like, man, this thing tastes like perfume. What the heck happened to it? Did this recipe go skunk? No, it was the beard oil. The volatile chemicals that are being released as the fragrance from the beard oil. When I breathe that in with the vape, it's like, what is that? Now it tastes like a strawberry custard. It's delicious.
There you go, guys. If you see a recipe of beard oil by Hunky Vape, stay well away from it.
That's what I'm going to have to mix up and send you for Christmas. Because I truly think that's a good one. Strawberry is a hard one to taste sometimes.
Yeah, it does, man. But custards take a long time anyway, don't they? So
yeah, but by the time it gets through the courier system to your place, it'll definitely be ripe, ready to go.
It will be well and truly steeped. Actually, at the moment in time, our postmen are going on strike, so it's all going mad in this country at the minute, man. Everybody's going on strike. Place is falling apart. It seems. It's mad.
Let's take a look over. Was it the peaches and cream? Nah. It was before that. It wasn't Will's custard cookie, it was after that.
How are you doing, Lance? Mallory Gates reckons strawberries in any form for me taste like a freshly mowed lawn.
Ooh, that's horrible.
Oh God.
There's so many different kinds of strawberries out there, and each of them has like a different characteristic of it. But the thing about strawberry flavors that I've found is, if you know, like I could take strawberry ripe and sweet strawberry and put them together. But if I take another brand strawberry and try to add it in there, it loses its strawberry taste and starts tasting like something else.
Yeah.
Less strawberry, more some kind of other fruit.
It's odd though, isn't it, when you think it's the same fruit technically. I mean, like I say, the only ones I have tried are like a proper fruit strawberry, but obviously there's the candy type strawberries as well, which are very sweet and normally aren't they? They're very sugary. A bit too much.
Just looking at the OBS here, I see I didn't get your corners rounded out for your webcam. So many little bugs and tweaks to work out. I worked so hard this past week trying to get this thing set up so that I could have a guest on. And the thing is, you know, if I get to the point where we have 3 or 4 people on, well, that's going to change it altogether, because the image, you're basically taking a Zoom meeting and you're just cropping out each person's separate thing and trying to put it on the screen. So it's like once you start the show, it's kind of like you're stuck with, you know, the number of people you already have in your Zoom meeting.
Yep, the problem with you is you're a perfectionist, sir. That's the problem. You're a perfectionist.
That's true. I was never really artistic person until I started doing DIYing of these liquids, number one, and doing the YouTube channel. But yeah, my analytical aspect of things, it's like I did computers. I got three master's degrees, and they're all IT, information security, and I got a master's in business administration, and it's all, you have to be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And in computer, there is no, if you make one character wrong or capitalized instead of lowercase, it screws the whole program.
Goes out. Yep, it all goes out the window, doesn't it?
Lance Ward wants to know what we're vaping on today.
Well,
what flavor you got in yours?
I've got a it's a DIY one shot. I'm not quite to the actual recipe, but it's a DIY one shot that I've had steeping now for 3 or 4 weeks, and it is pineapple, blueberry, and guava. I'm getting loads of pineapple, loads of blueberry, but I don't know what the hell guava is.
Guava.
I don't even know what it tastes like, to be honest with you. So there you go. That's my ignorance to guava.
It's a southern fruit.
The pineapple and the blueberry is fine. I'm getting pineapple in the inhale and blueberry on the exhale, and it's quite okay. So it's quite nice. It's a bit out of my comfort zone. I'm trying something totally new, but up to now I'm enjoying it. Like I wouldn't say it'd be an all-day vape for us, like, but it's something for a change, without a doubt.
Naturally, I can't find it right now. Well, let's do this.
See, Lance, I'm still on the little mix with the ether tank on as well, so that's the device I'm using as well, by the way. If you haven't already seen. But if you ask Alex what he's vaping, you'll probably bring out about 5 different devices with it.
Yeah. I was just telling him, I says, I got this custard that we made a couple episodes back, and it's finally been sitting here on the desk. That was the one where I pulled the twister out. We did the twister on that episode. I put the custard in it, and I'm like, this custard isn't going to be ready for at least another week or 2. So once I vaped that down, I put the fruit in there, and is that a perfect combination of custard and fruit? I understand why it's always paired together.
Definitely.
Well, now this custard's been sitting here for 2-3 weeks now, and man, is that thing perfect.
Yeah.
I could put these 2 in a 60 ml bottle, and I'll be happy as lark.
Happy as Larry. What was that, Lance? Have I seen Mike Vape's new Blaze single? I have, but I've already got his Blaze one. But I'm not really a single coil vape. For me, they're too cold. I like a warmer vape. I've got like a few single coil setups that I might use for out and about, but for me, they're cold. I like a medium to warm vape, and I find single coil vapes are a bit cold for me. So I don't know whether I'll be getting that one or not. But the Blaze, his RTA, the dual coil one, is absolutely fantastic. So I will go for that. Definitely.
I just got in the Dead Rabbit. Number 3. I think we're going to open that one up, take a look at it.
Well, I'm currently testing, and I didn't think I would get it. I think I mentioned it last week. I didn't think I would get it, but I'm getting the Aromizer Plus V3. It was more an opportunist. It was more an opportunist purchase rather than actually go out and get it. Well, I'm currently running that through its paces now, and I ain't disappointed. But I'm a fan of Steam Crave anyway. But this is very good, without giving too much away.
Yeah, when Steve put the video up, I'm like, oh, I got that one already. And then I realized, because he said, it took him a long time to get it. I'm like, I got that one. I ordered that. I remember that. Well, it wasn't the Aromizer Plus. It was the Supreme. It was the smaller version of it.
Yeah. I think with most of the Steam Crave stuff, they're pretty much the same. They're the same basic design. I think at the moment, with their devices, it's all about airflow. They're coming out with different loads of airflow configurations, and they're doing it. It's working. It's really good.
I think when they put the Ragnar out there and they got the feedback from the Ragnar, they were all of a sudden like, listen, we need to use this airflow design in the other tank. So they're right.
I mean, it's still the same old like kind of design. Your deck pops out and you do all that stuff. But I believe with the V3 you can also use the V2 and the V1 decks in, or vice versa with them. So you can put literally any deck in off them devices, and if you like a mesh deck or whatever, they'll all fit. So it's a pretty good. I like it when companies do that. The back catalogue where they've made stuff in the past and it still works with the newer stuff. I think that's a good thing to go along myself. Definitely.
Got the Dead Rabbit V3 deck out here, and looking at the way the airflow design is, you know who they got that design from, or that way of drilling the holes. That's the Arbiter 2. The way the Arbiter 2 did their fanned airflow.
Yeah, that's right.
They're doing a similar type of design for the airflow here. The deck is a little different, obviously, but you've got wide open airflow all the way around the center of the coil, and then reduced airflow as it gets towards the outer edges of the coil.
Yeah. I think with the Blaze RTA, that reminded me of the Loop RDA deck. The W. The
Loop, yeah.
It's kind of got that shape to it.
Well, let me pull it out and you take a look and see if you think it's the same. Yeah, and it's the same. You gotta perfectly line it up to get the thing to thread in, to screw in.
Yeah.
I need to get working on these reviews. Been so busy trying to get everything working for these live streams and then reconfiguring OBS.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there.
It's cumulative. It takes years to get everything perfected. I'm so jealous of, Nick when he goes live for his TBNs and stuff, and he's got everything all prepped, and he pops up all these news articles and whatnot, and it's like, I know what it takes to do that.
Oh God. Well, I think that's what, people don't realize what goes on in the background, getting everything prepared and sorted and all that stuff. It takes a bit of doing and a bit of time.
So there's the deck for the Loop.
The Loop. It's a nice little RTA, that, mate. It's bloody lovely. Yeah. That the one, is it? But the 1.5's got more like the honeycomb airflow, I believe the 1.5's got.
Yeah, this one directs the airflow down the side here, and then it forces it to come back up.
Yeah.
Which is going to direct most of it this way.
That's right.
And a little bit out this way.
Yeah.
But these things, this type of airflow design only works if you're drawing hard enough on it. If you're one of those people that hardly draws on the thing, takes a very slow, and keeps the wattage down, this airflow design isn't going to work for you. You're going to have flavor problems.
Well, I think that one there is like more for power, but on the 1.5, you know, the middle, that middle V there, there's a load of honeycomb holes in that one, so the airflow is much smoother and it's a bit more forgiving. You know, you can get it on a lower wattage. But that one, like I say, I think you need a bit of power and a bit of a good set of lungs to vape on that one. Like,
well, that's the kind of way that I vape. I'm one that I like to take. You know, it doesn't have to be short. It doesn't have to be long. But I really draw the air in. You know, being a 3-pack-a-day smoker, it was one of those ones where if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be pussyfooting around.
No half measures here. Get a lungful. Have you not seen the amount of blinging air that vaping Bogan takes in when he takes a pull? My God, his lungs must be huge.
That needs rework.
My God, I can take about two seconds, maybe 2.5 at a push, but my God, no more. Like, no more.
That's a peach custard. That's what that is.
I think you made that the other week, didn't you?
I think that's that peaches and cream, actually.
I think you looked at the peach custard recipe, but I don't know if you actually made it. I think you done another version.
No, I made the peaches and cream using Liquid Barnes peach and vanilla bean ice cream.
That's right, yeah. But I think somebody in chat asked about Vic's peach custard.
Ah, yes. You know, I should have the ingredients to make that. We should make that today.
We dug the recipe out for it the other week, didn't you?
No, I did develop a recipe. Somebody asked me last week, they're like, you know, do you develop your own recipes? I'm like, generally speaking, no, simply because I like have a starting point from somebody else's.
Yeah, like
partially because I'm not the creative kind of person where like, you know what? I want to make myself creme brulee today with raspberry. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm like, you know, analytical person. Like, give me a recipe, let's mix it, and then let's tweak it and play with it and mess with it. I'm, you know, that's the computer hacker coming out in me. Yeah, I want to figure out what you did, and then I want to figure out a way to break it and make it even better.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's always room for improvement, as they say. Lance Ward finds the steam craves loose flavoured high. Depends how much you push it. I think in mine I've got my coils are opening out about 0.11, 0.12ish, and I'm sitting vaping 100 watts on it, and it's absolutely spot on. But I think the steam crave tanks do need power.
It also depends on what coils you put in them. It's amazing how much a difference you can make just like having Canthal versus Nichrome Claptons on your coils. Yeah, that alone changes the flavor a little bit.
What are they? I think the Tricore Fuse Clapton's Nichrome 80, NI80s. That's what's in it. That's it. They're the actual coils that come with the device. So I'm trying their coils, and they're actually not bad for being like Chinese made, so to speak. Drop 1.5, my God. Oh, Dusty Country Road, sorry, I'm making a mess of your name there. Dusty Country Road would like to find a good recipe for a Heisenberg menthol. Ooh.
You know what? I bought the Heisenberg last time we were vape shop hopping, and I have yet to try it. I need to pull that out. Speaking of which, I want to thank all you guys for subscribing because I finally hit the 1,000 subscriber mark.
Way!
Knock on wood.
Congratulations.
Let me see if I can get this to work. There we go. A little bit of applause. Sound effect.
Woohoo!
All right. I have Juicy Peach by TFA. I wonder if that's going to be a good substitute for the peach that he has in there because I think TFA does have a peach flavor that's not juicy.
Yeah, I think that's what he uses.
All right, we got Strawberry Ripe, cream, and vanilla custard.
Oh God,
TFA, vanilla custard. Yes. We have what we need for the prince.
Oh, rock and roll. I had flipping bright in here. For some reason it's just gone bright in here. I think the sun's starting to creep round. That's probably why my picture's a bit bright. Sorry about that, like, but I've got a big bay window here, you see, so there's a bit of light flooding in and the sun's kind of swinging around, so the whole room's just lit up.
That's all right. It's raining here. It's not a heavy rain. It's one of them, drizzle kind of London fog rain.
Oh, God. It's, it's still pretty warmish here for British summertime. Like, we're in about the 20, 22 degree mark. Where I say 20s, it's probably down London's hitting about 24, 25. Up here we're hitting maybe 20, 22. But it's still a bit cloudy and overcast, so it's on and off. As you know, we are recovering from a massive heat wave. Bloody hell, that was crazy, that.
Oh, we had one here just yesterday. It's ridiculous.
Us Brits aren't used to flinging that flinging kind of weather, man, Not that hot. Especially Scotland. Scotland normally never hits over about 18 degrees. They were hitting 22 degrees. There's people sunbathing in Scotland. It's never been heard of. It was mad. Absolute madness.
What do you think? 60 or 100 for the prince?
100, gotta be. The more the merrier. Are we talking ml or litres?
Okay, 120 it is.
Nice big bottle, man.
You're gonna have to let it steep for a while anyway.
Oh yeah. May as well make it worth your while. Make a decent amount. Let it steep. It'll be bloody lovely. I made it once before. A long time ago. I made half a litre of it.
Yeah? What'd you think of it?
It was nice. It was really good. I can't remember what it, I think it could have done with a bit more peach. I thought that the peach could have been a bit more in it, but I just followed the recipe that Vic done to the letter type of thing. And I thought I could have done a bit more peach, but that's that's me.
Well, we start off with Bavarian Cream. I need to adapt this recipe. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's set up for 100 mils. But we need to adapt this. Everything else should stay the same.
You've got a request off Lance. Mr. Hunky Vape, please send me some custard all the way to Wales. I love it.
We might get to that point with the way the vaping industry has gotten and with what regulations are and stuff. It may get to the point where we're sending everybody liter bottles of it, and you're in here breaking it down into 100 mil bottles, 100 mil bottles. Here you go. This one's your Valentine's Day present. Here's your birthday present. Here's your Christmas present. Have a nice day. Happy Easter.
Yep. Happy Halloween. Happy this.
All right, so now we're set up for 120 mils.
120 mil, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, Bavarian Cream is going to be 3.6.
3.6.
I like making bigger bottles. When you're off by a drop or two, it doesn't hardly change the flavor profile.
I don't think you've got to be exact for that kind of stuff. You can give or take a gram.
Oh, the flavor's just going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But it's not fair for somebody making a recipe for me to do a review on it and me be sloppy mixing it.
Well, there's that, like.
All right, 2.5 for. I'm using Juicy Peach.
Juicy peach. Ooh. Look at that, man. Oh, man. Look at the juices.
Uh-oh.
That's...
We're at 2.6. Man, does that smell fantastic. It smells just like a peach.
Oh.
All right, Strawberry Ripe.
Got my
2.4.
mouth watering here. He's got my mouth watering here doing this, you know.
I can't imagine how fat I'd be if I wasn't vaping.
Oh,
I'd be eating it, I'll craving the smells and that we have with DIY, and it's just like.
That was a kind of a meme I seen on social media. It says something like, when you're walking down the street, you smell a lovely apple pie in the oven, and you walk around the corner, it's some bugger vaping.
My favorite is the one where some lady posted a thing on there, and it said, you know, you're walking down the street and you see this burly man, and you think to yourself, oh man, what a hunk. And then you walk past him and all you smell is peach cream. Was that a stripper?
Awesome. Brilliant.
6 grams of vanilla custard.
Ooh, there we go. That's the magic sauce itself, that one, man. Tremendous stuff.
Doesn't taste like custard.
No.
That's why it takes time.
Yeah.
Those egg flavors. But I will show you a recipe today. Been working to try and get a good, nice raspberry lemonade. And raspberry is such a subtle flavor. So I looked at it and I said, you know what? I'm going to crank the percentage as high as it needs to be to get that flavor profile. And man, what I come up with tastes just like fresh, homemade raspberry lemonade. And the raspberry in this is so strong, it literally tastes like you ate a handful of raspberries and then washed it down with lemonade.
Wow. That good.
Oh my.
There's Lance Ward. That's what I'm vaping on right now. Apple pie and custard by Pud. Really good. Yeah. Lucky man.
Oh, secret sauce. We're looking at 7.46.
746.
Now, last week you had asked, you know, how much of this you need in order to nick up a bottle.
Yeah.
And somebody else asked the same question on a Facebook post. So I'm going to do some simple mathematics to help anybody figure out how much you need in milliliters to nick up your bottle. All right. So let's say that you have a 100 ml bottle, okay? And you want this 100 ml bottle to be 3 milligram.
Yeah.
Well, the simple math you need to do is if you want this to be 3 milligram per milliliter, there's 100 milliliters. That's 300 milligrams total nick content for this entire bottle.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so you take this 300, divide it by the strength of your secret sauce. Okay?
I'm with you.
So if you got a 72, you take that 300, you divide it by 72. If you got 100, then you take 300 divided by 100, and you need 3 mils of your secret sauce to make that bottle 3 milligrams. It's just simple math.
Show you what we've got.
If you got 72, then it's 300 divided by 72, and it's going to be like 4.18.
Wait, I'm not sure for, but these size bottles are not short for them kind of bottles. And here these are the 18 milligram So for them, you'd put 2 of them in a 120 bottle to give you 3 of them bottles that we buy.
So 300 divided by 80. You said yours are 80.
1 8.
You need
1 8. 18. 18. 1 8.
Oh, it's 18. Okay,
Yeah.
go back. 300
18s.
divided by 18. Oh, you're saying the strength of that is 18, but how many mils are in that bottle?
10.
So you have 180 total in that bottle.
It's 10 milli bottle, 18 mg strength.
Okay. Then you need 1 2/3 a bottle to get your 3.
Most of the retailers round it off to 2, because when you put the 2 in, it fills up to the 120 ml mark. Thereabouts.
Yeah.
But the thing that used to confuse me, if you've got them 18 milligram bottles in like 18 milligram strength in a 10 milli bottle, and you want 6 milligram, well, technically you're doubling it, aren't you? But you can't get 40 mil in a one. You know, it doesn't fit. So that's where the confusion came. You know what I mean? If you wanted 6 milligram in a 120 mil bottle, there wouldn't be enough room in that bottle to put 40 ml of sauce in. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's what used to get us confused, because obviously I think a friend of mine vaped 6 milligram, and then I think he come up to us one day, he says, how many do I pour in? I went, that's a damn good question, that.
Do you know there's a solution to that?
Yeah. I would imagine you'd have to split it.
Get a bigger bottle.
Yeah, split it.
You know, put it in a 60 ml bottle.
Yeah.
And then you can make it exactly what you want it to be.
Aye.
Although, quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with you. You can jump up and down, back and forth, left and right. Doesn't really matter what strength you make it at.
Yeah.
I literally went down to 0 and didn't realize it. And I went down to 0 because I wanted to. And I had a bad day and almost started smoking again because all I had on me was 0. And then I started doing the science and realizing there's positive health effects to doing this. So why can't you just enjoy it just like you enjoy your coffee? Now, if you're going through multiple of these a day, you got a problem, and you need to realize that you have a problem.
Big style.
But I mean, if you got 3 and 6 laying around, and you're jumping up to, you know, a disposable once in a while when you're going out or something, who cares? We've been stigmatized our whole lives as smokers, and we're just accustomed to letting people tell us, oh, you need to get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Why? Who's it going to get hurt? We already did the science on it. It's not going to hurt the bystanders. You choose what you want to consume for yourself.
I think nowadays I caught a live show, well, the bit of the live show, the guy called Little Bro Vapes, which is like a live show on Wednesday night, and they popped a question, right, and they were having a bit of a debate about it, and I just thought, I'd put the subject out there. They were saying, is there such a thing as second-hand vaping?
Nope.
Now, this is the thing. One guy was saying, well, look, you take that, you blow it out. If somebody's standing next to you, they're going to breathe it in. But the point they were making, they're saying, well, there's nothing in it that can harm you. It's not like a cigarette. There's nothing in it. And that was the point they were making, well, and they were right. There's nothing in it that can harm you, isn't it? It's as simple as that.
Listen, when you're a youngster and you're out clubbing and whatnot,
Yeah.
I see them doing that all the time, where it's literally one person will breathe the smoke in, and they'll go to kiss another person without actually kissing them and just exhale that in for them to breathe it in. Okay? In that case, yeah, you're going to feel whatever was in that. And if you're not a normal person that uses it, you're going to feel the head spin from it. But short of that, if you're just in a room and you exhale it, it dissipates in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless you're cloud chucking.
It does, like, it just kind of just drops, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So it's not as if it's hanging about in the air like cigarette smoke, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't hang in the air.
Nope.
And the thing that gets me is I get kind of like passionate about this part of it because as a DJ, fog machines is a common thing, especially around the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much fog machines going on in these clubs where you couldn't literally see the other end of the bar because of how thick the smoke is. And it's not smoke, it's fog. And it's the same thing as what we exhale when we breathe our vapor. It's the same process. And when you go to mix the liquid for the fog machine, you know what it is?
Is it not dry ice?
It's vegetable glycerin and
BG.
distilled water. And the only reason they use the distilled water is because they want to get all the minerals out of the water to keep the heating elements clean.
That's right, yeah, it's pure water. There's no crap in it, is there?
Yeah. People breathe that in and don't think twice about it. But now all of a sudden, because it comes out of this, oh, well, it can hurt you.
Yeah,
No.
It's an issue. I've got you on that one.
That was what sold me, on vaping, watching Phil's review. And he made a mockery of the whole thing when, he pulled out one of those big stage fog machines and hooked up the hose to it and stuff. And here we have the Vape 6000. Turn the thing on, just chugging out the fog. He was trying to do like a Billy Mays parody.
I wonder what one of them would work like with flavoured with actual flavoured juice and that. Plus one of them out of a fog machine.
If you had a small room, I suppose you could take a 120 ml bottle and put it in there. It wouldn't last very long.
Oh, no.
And like I said, it dissipates. And as soon as it touches any surface, it's going to be absorbed. And we used to go through gallons of fog juice throughout the course of a night.
Oh, well believe it. Well believe it.
So there we have the print.
Yeah,
all mixed up.
Is that done? All ready to go? Ready to go. I like it.
Gotta wait at least a week.
Yeah. It's a nice
if I remember
colour
correctly,
as well,
he
isn't
waits
it?
like a month before he gets and does it until he looks at it like wine. It's got to be the right color. Doesn't matter whether it's been here 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It's got to be the right color. If it's not dark enough, it's not ready.
Yeah. I think it's around about the 6 week mark. I think lets it steep for about 6 weeks.
Well, in 6 weeks, we'll come back and revisit it. And that might be my new all-day vape. Smells fantastic, I'll tell you that.
I think it might be close to an all-day vape, like, because it's so smooth as well, man. It's nice. Definitely.
So let me show you this recipe.
I think he's got some others, like a King Snap, they're like a similar thing, but just different amounts of whatever, I'd imagine. Where's your recipe? Have a look.
I'd blow it up, but
lemonade.
that script still isn't working right for the zoom and follow for OBS. But here's this raspberry lemonade. I took and used the V6 version, and I said, you know what, I'm going to really push this sweet raspberry, because sweet raspberry is a very, very subtle flavor. You can definitely tell it, and in teas and stuff like that, all you get is like this hint of it and some other flavor that isn't really a raspberry. It's that artificial raspberry flavor we've become accustomed to drinking raspberry teas and stuff. Well, I just doubled the amount of sweet raspberry, TFA sweet raspberry in this, pushed the percentage from 4.5% to 9%. And I added a little cotton candy in there, sweetness to it. And man, this thing, I'm telling you, it tastes like you had a handful of raspberries. You got done eating those fresh raspberries and then did a lemonade chaser. Fantastic.
That good. Really that good. Wow. See, juices like that are sometimes hard to come by nowadays, man. Very hard.
That's the advantage of DIY. You can push the flavor percentages any direction you want, as strong as you want. Now, granted, the total flavoring in this is 19.5%. Normally, I'd be like, oh man, that's too high. It doesn't need to be that high. And could you cut it back a little bit? Sure. No.
You look like you actually
I'm telling you,
enjoyed it.
I'm telling you, this is going to have to sit here. I want to make sure that this doesn't spoil in a couple of weeks and get perfumey because of how high the flavor percentage is, but that tastes fantastic.
I think when you've had a vape and it brings a smile to your face, you know.
I don't care what kind of day you've had. This is better than pulling out a beer.
I wouldn't go that far, like.
Doesn't last as long as a beer.
No.
But you need an instant change, an attitude adjustment. That would be the perfect name for this juice.
Raspberry attitude.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
Raspberry attitude adjustment. Just fantastic.
Ooh.
My mom,
awesome.
I'll get back to her after the show. She had called me yesterday and ordered some sugar-free carbonated soda. And let's go and jump over to chat.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got to go and visit my parents tomorrow at some point.
And she's like, you know, I found this thing on Amazon. There was a 24-pack, and I found it at Walmart, and there's a 30-pack. Well, I want to get the 30-pack for $16 instead of the 24-pack for $15. It's a better value. Well, I went and took a look at the links, and I'm like, yeah, except you forgot to realize that Walmart, it was $16.99 for the 30-pack plus $16.99 shipping.
Oh.
And with us being Amazon Prime, it's like, hey, it's free delivery.
Wow.
And because it's actually coming from a Whole Food store, it's $2.99 delivery if it's less than $25. So I just ordered her 2 cases of it, and she got 2 cases of it delivered the same day because it was coming from Whole Foods. One of the advantages of Amazon buying up everything they can get their hands on. All right, let's go back and chat and see what we missed while we were.
Hi.
All right, last line was Mallory Gates. Dusty Country Road says that he's got a lemon cookie in his Geek Vape L2Z tank. Mrs. Hunky Vape is rocking her pod mod. Went to E-Cig Mafia and ordered. She's got a convention coming up. Her store is one of the biggest ones in Pittsburgh right now, growth-wise. Yeah. She's got a convention coming up. Well, she ordered a peach one, peach-colored one, and a purple-colored one, and they're like $9 right now. And then I ordered her a bunch of these coil pods for it. He loves the thing. Got like 5 of those now.
Really? Pardon the noise of a dog go mad in the background. Oi.
There's a Kinder Bueno challenge happening. I think you have one more day to get recipes in. Oh, yeah? Send me a message on Facebook, Mallory. Where do I send this recipe in?
There you go. Hey, settle down, you. Sorry.
Free Ride Vapor, hello. Welcome to the show. Vapor Queen Becky,
ride.
hello.
Hello.
Lance Ward, we talked about that. Steam Crave, losing flavor at high wattage. Try changing your coils. Try a different coil. It is possible to push the limits of it. Matter of fact, that was something that they told me on the last Hell Vape tank that I did. We went to Tennessee for our holiday, and while we were there, I had an incident with it leaking out, and I felt like the airflow on that was kind of spongy. And I was told the reason it's spongy is because you need to put a higher wattage coil in there, a coil that can take the higher wattage, run it at that higher wattage. And when you do that, you'll smooth out the airflow because you're going to be forced to draw more air in to keep that coil cool. and that'll eliminate the sponginess of the coil.
Definitely. I mean, like I say, some of these larger tanks that are actually built for power. You've just got to put power through them, and obviously a build that'll suit it as well. You know what I mean?
Vaping Bogan has put up his new show and tell of Stubby All-in-One. I'll have to look into that. I haven't seen a Bogan video, and I can't tell you how long. If you look over my shoulder, you'll see right up there.
The Bogan
My wife
logo
made me
there.
a little carton to represent his juices that he was selling there for a while.
Yeah, he released a few juices. He's still doing them. Well, should be, isn't he?
Yeah, he probably is. You know, as long as you don't put the nick in it, you can sell whatever flavor you want over in Australia.
Yeah.
Just like these flavors. Let me tell you. Flavors has a one-shot custard.
Oh.
I'll
You are
include
milking this.
I'll
You're
include
milking
some of
this,
that.
Doug.
I'll give you a 60 ml bottle of this in your Christmas present.
You're milking this custard theme with me now, like.
Hey, now that I know what your favorite is. My wife hates custards. Can't stand them.
Really? God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't found a recipe for the Heisenberg, but I will be trying it shortly. I imagine it'd be pretty hard to come up with a nice menthol that. Then again, the one thing about Heisenberg that I wasn't really truly a fan of is why is it blue? None of the flavorings I have is blue. Blue is a food coloring.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
It's nice for pictures. Like I bought a juice of the blue just for doing reviews and then using that to make the thumbnail. And I tried it, the flavor of it. It's more of a slushy than it is a blue raspberry. But
yeah. And they're not my cup of tea. I'm not a fan of Heisenberg. Like, I mean, I've got one here. I did have. Well, there was one there. Well, that's in there now. But I'm not a fan of Heisenberg. Ugh. I think with a lot of them, they just put too much menthol or cool water in that. I'm not a fan of that either. Ooh,
Lance Ward wants some custard too.
yeah, no, he said he's in Wales. He wants you to some custard.
Mallory says she always mixes in 100 mils. I can't do that. I do too many recipes. As it is right now, I've got an abundance of these 30 ml bottles that I've got here that I don't know how I'm going to vape through them all. Some of them are really good. Some of them are, they're okay.
I know, but if they were all raspberry lemonade, you'd sure get buried.
My wife's sister started vaping. I'm sure she'd be happy to do it for free. If you gave her a bottle of it.
Why not? Why not? Just maybe must be. What's that kind of?
Janine Timmons says that her hair was on fire. Math is not her strong suit. Fortunately, math is something that I've always, excelled in, and that's because you learn the fundamentals. I tried to get this across to my daughter. You need to learn your times tables. If you know your times tables in your head, math is easy because you see the answer ahead of you.
Yeah, it is.
Ian Thomas, hello and welcome.
I'm okay with maths. I'm not brilliant, but I can get by. I can figure stuff out.
So just tag the recipe kinder on the LR. Very good.
But saying that, you not think with all the technology out there, people don't really need to remember maths. They've just got a computer or a calculator or something that does it for them now. So
Yeah, it's on your cell phone too.
yeah. I mean, I remember when I was serving my time as in engineering, when we had to learn trigonometry. Now we've got a computer that does it for you. Works everything out for you.
Yeah.
All them sleepless nights I had remembering trigonometry for nothing.
At least it wasn't calculus.
Oh my god. I say, but I think we're just getting lazy now with technology. It's making we're lazy.
Yeah.
We don't have to think anymore.
That is very, very true.
I mean, this is a classic example of that over here, right? We've got like what you would call a crossroads in America, but we'll have a roundabout in the middle. So we'll have like 4 roads leading to a roundabout. And when we learn to drive, you give way from the right. So the person on your right hand side has got priority, right? People still do not get that. They just sit and look at each other. But then our wonderful government and highways agency put traffic lights on roundabouts so you don't have to think. You've got a light that tells you when to go. That is what it's like. Traffic lights on a roundabout.
I remember when they started putting roundabouts here in the United States, and people just didn't have a clue. They were making left-hand turns in a roundabout. And it's like, what? Wait a minute. What the heck are you doing? And it tells you when you get to the intersection, one way around the circle.
It's the same with us. We've got road markings with arrows clearly stating what lane you need to be in where. No, people don't look at them. They just go where they want. They go from over there to over there. No bother. But now we've solved it. We've got traffic lights. There you go. Problem solved. Don't have to think. It's mad, man. Honestly, it's crazy. Excuse me. Absolutely crazy.
All right, let's get to a random recipe here.
Right, what we're doing. What
are we doing? Malt flavor stash. We're just going to be growing here shortly. I got to order some more flavors, like I mentioned earlier. Come on.
You've ordered some more. You've got a shop sitting there behind you.
Yeah, but I've been asked a long time ago when I first started getting into DIY and stuff. Mallory Gates made a recipe for a pecan pie, and pecan pie is my favorite. I indulge in that quite heavily come Thanksgiving. Right. So I'm like, I would love to be able to try that out, but I was always missing the crust. It's basically just crust and butter pecan, right. But I didn't have the crust flavor, and I keep forgetting to order it. I placed half a dozen orders from Bull City Flavors. I keep forgetting to order it. Well, this time I made sure I ordered it. I was starting to run low on VG, so I ordered some VG, put the crust in there, and I'm like, okay, well, Christmas is coming up. I need to order some peppermint. So I ordered a couple other flavors and stuff, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Looking forward to
I finally get a chance to make that recipe.
One you've been looking forward to, yeah?
Yep. Very much so.
I bet. Oh, man.
People have been complaining about ELR's website being a little bit slow. And I was going to make the comment. I'm like, listen, all you got to do is send the guy a couple bucks. Throw a couple bucks his way for maintaining the website and, say thank you. And you get rid of the commercials, because I just assumed it was the commercials that were slowing it up. But looking at this, it is a little bit slower than usual.
Yeah. Oh, Lance, I'll have to give that one a shout. Oh, yes. Lance has just said I should try a Zeus Juice new blackberry and custard. Oh, that's right up my alley, that. Right up my street. Oh. Zeus
Blackberry custard. Ooh.
Oh, that sounds so good.
There's a tropical rush here. It's a mango pineapple. I was thinking about mixing that up for the wifey, but I see it's got cooling agent in it, and she's not a fan of cooling agents.
No, it's horrible. It'll ruin it.
It's not so bad when you have a little disposable and you just get a hint of that cooling. But anytime I've put cooling agent in the e-liquids, it changes the flavor profile a little bit.
Does it? Just
in the sake of getting that cooling.
It's too much.
Well, that's also the fact, I was having a conversation with Flavors about the cooling agent that they normally sell is 10%, and Bull City sells it at 30%. I'm like, do I need to cut it back? He's like, no, just use a third. And the thing is, when I'm making small bottles, I'm literally putting only 1 or 2 drops in. So it's hard to get an accurate cooling agent.
Honestly, it makes me cough. It's too much of a hit on your throat for me. Like, I can't do it. No.
Yeah.
It's just too much of a hit. I would love to be able to, because, but nah, That's
Yeah, but from what I've talked to people that have consistently used cooling agents in there, it's like everything else. Your body gets adapted and accustomed to it, and you have to keep pushing the percentage up higher. Dimitri's got that problem. You know, he can't find one that's cool enough for him anymore. Because he's been using it for so long.
Oh, no. I mean, I'd give anything a shot, but like I say, some stuff is just a no-no. I think that's where it was. I think it was when I first quit. I tried the Heisenberg, and that had lots of cool. The one I got had lots of cooling, and it totally put me off it altogether. It was just too much.
Peanut taffy and nougat fluff. That sounds interesting.
Lance, hold on a minute, Lance. Vaping Heed, it's that nice. He's ordered 4 bottles and got 1 free on the site. Why don't you send me the freebie then? You can't have that many to yourself. Definitely look it up, bud. I'll definitely look that one up.
This is literally at like 1%. Made 90 ml bottle. And he's only putting in, these Wonder flavors must be really super concentrated for 1%, 2%, 1.5%. Well, we'll give it a try.
I like that.
.33, 0.6, and 0.45. Let's find these ingredients.
Very good, very good.
Taffy peanut butter. Nougat.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good. That. Here he is. He's in his lab.
Marshmallow candy. I'm trying to find marshmallow candy.
Marshmallow candy.
There we go.
Check that out. Juice.
Fantastic.
I was just thinking there, Lance, Washington Vape sell juice. I wonder if they're going to get that new flavour in. Because I regularly go to them.
This is my other little go-to one. Running Myogi's cappuccino cream in this.
Cappuccino cream. Oh.
I love this little puppy so much, I had to order coils for it. I said, if the wifey's ordering coils, I'm ordering coils.
Too right. Got to be done. It's got to be done.
Well, it's like I said, that arbiter is ready to be recoiled. But it's so simple sometimes. It's nice to be lazy once in a while and just swap the coil out.
How long do you run yours for, roughly? Come on, be honest.
It's different for different coils. This one here, I've gotten 3 weeks out of it. And it's just now starting to taste like it's starting to go. But it's not like I use this all day, every day either. That's the other problem with me testing different things out. It's not like I run this exclusively. When I first did the review on it, I did that exclusively. Yeah. Just to try and find out how long it lasted. And matter of fact, the video was delayed because of the fact that the coil just wouldn't go. It kept lasting.
Yeah.
These new coils, they're just so much better than the old stuff. The old stuff, there were some juices that were so high, you'd be lucky to get 3 days out of a coil.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you got coils that last weeks?
Again, there's lots of variables on that as well, isn't there? You know, sweetness of juices and sugar content and all that stuff, sweetener content and all that stuff. I mean, I've noticed many a time when, you know, I mean, even in the early days with coils, we got a sweet juice, especially in the sub-home, it was just a coil killer. You know, it just burnt it out literally within a day because of the actual amount of sweetener and stuff they used to put in them.
Yeah, the juice manufacturer wouldn't care. You know, they'd push the super sweet up to 3, 4, 5% even.
That's
and then
right,
you wonder why your coils only last a couple days.
Mm-hmm. But again, coils have come a long way since them days as well, you know. The technology's come a long way.
Well, the big thing I think with these Freemax coils that they've been putting out lately is the mesh inside them literally covers all 360 degrees around that cotton. I'm not sure how they're pressing that thing in there, getting the tolerances so specific that they can push that in there and that coil wraps all the way around. Everybody else, the coil wraps around like 90% of the cotton inside because it's compressed, and then they push it in there and it relaxes just a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they've come a long way, without a doubt.
That plus the airflow, they got it down. There's scientific. I'm sure that there's scientific instruments there. They know exactly what the average, you know, draw is for most of their customers, depending on whether it's, you know, mouth lung or direct lung.
Yeah, well, that's part of the design with the airflow. It's obviously the pressure that you cause inside the tank as well when you inhale, you know. So they've got to work all that science out, so to speak.
Yeah, now with the way the regulations are in China, they literally have to document all that stuff, the same as what the FDA is requesting, except, you know, obviously in China, they're literally looking at, do the legitimate test, and if you pass, we'll give it to you. Because the more you make, the more money we make.
Definitely. I think that's what we're down to now, and it's just like I think it was touched on last week. Just it's an airflow now, and that's basically where everybody seems to be going. I mean, they did have the wattage race, you know, years ago. Now, you know, all devices and coils can hit, you know, massive wattage temperatures now, and now it's a case of just the airflow. Now it's a bit of an airflow battle.
Yeah, and as they've gotten better, there's wider ranges of what those coils can perform at. You can turn the wattage down, you know, and then it used to be you had to run it exactly 55 watts, and that was the ideal for that coil, and you still only got 4 or 5 days out of it.
You still actually get sub-ohm coils with that information on. We'll say like something like 70 to 110 watts, best at 90 watts. You know, you still get that printed on the coils of this day.
Yeah, the smock ones are especially good for really wide ranges that you can run those coils at.
Yeah. They've come a long way as well, you know. I mean, everybody disses smock, you know, but I think that, you know, it was just because of the release rate. You know, they used to release something new nearly every couple of weeks or a month, you know, new mod, new tank, new this. But they've kind of slowed down a bit now, but the quality's getting better.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff now is really, really good. I mean, the milk and the TF range of the tanks, like, I mean, what we're up to now, 18 or something in it?
Yeah. I couldn't believe on their one sale, it was their 10th anniversary sale, I picked that one kit up. It was a complete starter kit, sub-ohm starter kit, and it was like $28 or $25 or something like that. I mean, they know that if whoever bought that was going to end up, you know, paying for it when they bought coils for the tank, but it was just fantastic.
I've still got an original mag kit somewhere kicking about. I've got that. I've got the original, another one, an original one that lit up. They're still working fine. Bit battered and bruised, like, but they're still going.
I think if the FDA had done things differently and they basically mass approved all the stuff that was available, you know, the people submitted PMTAs for, I honestly think the vaping could have gotten to be like the print industry. When you go and buy a printer, you're for $60. But then you go and buy the cartridges for $30. I mean, it could have been the same way for starter kits. You know, I could see vape companies selling something like this for $40, and then when you go to buy the coils for them, you're going to end up, you know, basically creating that profit margin for them to make up for the mod being so cheap.
It's funny you should mention that about printers, because like I say, we used to get printers over here, you know, 30, 40 quid, and like you say, the cartridges would be like, you know, maybe nearly the same price as the printer. So all we used to do was bin the printer and just go and buy another printer with fresh cartridges.
Back when the retailers around here were happy about doing rebates, you know, you could buy that thing for like $60 and you get a $25 rebate on it. I mean, people are going buying 10 printers because they were never planning on buying another print cartridge.
Nope. It was just weird though, just how these companies like kind of shot themselves in the foot. Then again, the cartridges still are pricey for most of them, so. I probably could have bought another 10 printers with the cartridges I bought for the Canon one. Jesus.
I went up and bought a laser printer for that exact reason, because I got tired of buying ink cartridges. And you wouldn't go use the printer for, you know, 2 months or whatever, and you come back and the print cartridge is bad because the head dried up.
Rather dried up.
You don't have that problem with the laser printer. You can go 6 months or a year without using the thing, and you go and you fire out a page and it prints it. And then you get like 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 pages per cartridge.
I mean, thankfully it's something we don't hammer as much now, you know what I mean? It's but years ago when the kids were doing stuff for school and printing this and printing that and photographs and all, it used to get hammered. But as you say, with technology now, who prints photographs now? It's all saved on a hard drive or on a cloud or on something. You know what I mean? Nobody prints photographs anymore, really, in this day and age. So
yeah, you upload them to social media. You have them on your phone. You might share with the family, but that's about it.
Exactly, that's it. Nobody actually prints anymore now. Wow. Oh, how things move along, eh?
That they do, mate.
Time waits for no one. Oh my god. My wife's getting in the Halloween spirit already, you know.
Already?
Yeah, she loves Halloween.
Ah.
Hang on, just a minute. She's just been out the shop there and bought something. Here we've got, what's that? We have, there you go. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. She loves Halloween. Absolutely loves it. She's kind of like obviously jealous of you guys out there in the States, because obviously you celebrate Halloween big style, but over here it's a quiet affair over here. It's not as big as it is over in the US.
You can thank the retailers for that. They're the ones that made it such a big holiday.
Yeah, you guys party over there, though. Halloween, we don't.
There are literally shops that are closed all year long, except in Halloween time, 2 months before Halloween, they open up for Halloween. It's a Halloween store. You can go in there and get anything you want for Halloween, any decorations, lawn, yard, house, whatever, costumes. They got them. They close up for Halloween. They open up for Christmas. And they're closed the rest of the year.
Shop. Yeah, wow. They must be making a few quid then, or bucks, as you say.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they do.
And the ironic thing, a lot of it will come from China.
Oh, it all does. And then I had to laugh because when Trump passed that tax, on China, everybody was like, oh, yeah, we're going to get back at China. We'll get back at China. I'm like, are you stupid or something? Who's going to pay that? It ain't going to be the Chinese manufacturers. No. That cost is going to be carried on. It's not going to be the importer that's going to pay that tax. You're going to pay the tax when you go to buy that stuff.
End user.
And you don't even realize, how much of it comes from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, like I say, when we buy stuff from yourself, the USA, we've got to pay a big import tax on that.
The VAT.
Probably like a while or people, because like I say, you have got like guys out doing it, they're doing vape devices and mods and that, that people want in the UK, but they'll not order because of the taxation for the shipping and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, God, what did I buy a few years? I bought a Kennedy for a few years ago, and I think I paid about, it must be about a third of the price was all taxes and shipping and imports. Must have been. I remember paid a canny chunk to get it imported.
That's crazy.
Madman. Absolutely crazy. It's just weird how it all works. I think China's doing it all through Hong Kong now or something, aren't they? So they try to get round it by going through Hong Kong. Possibly
Yeah, except for vape stuff, Hong Kong banned it.
Ah, that's right, wasn't it?
The city council banned it on there, so the stuff that, we're getting imported into the vape shops around here are all coming directly from China.
Yeah.
It used to be Hong Kong was the export
That's
origin
right, yeah.
for all around the world.
Nah, crazy.
But, with the regulations that came in place, it literally got to the point where the one airport in China that was closest to Shenzhen got evaluated and customs was improved there specifically to handle the increase in exports because of the problems with sending it through Hong Kong.
Yeah. They always find a way, man. They always do.
Yeah, like I pointed out this last week in the news, you cannot stop $1 trillion industry from just closing shop and saying, oh, well, I guess we'll find something else to go do with ourselves.
This is true.
As long as we keep buying the stuff, they'll keep making it.
Yeah. It's what we discussed before, supply demand, isn't it? Supply and demand. People want it, somebody will supply it. Whether it be legitimate or not, it'll get supplied. It's as simple as. Oh, Lord, smoke. Ian Thomas has still got a Smock Cube 2 working perfectly, and he says the finish is still held up well on it as well. My God, a Smock Cube. Bloody hell. That's going back.
I don't even know what a cube is, a Smock Cube.
Oh, very old. One of the very early things.
AL85 is the oldest Smock product I have.
85.
It's a little, looked like about the size of a Zippo.
Oh.
Had a TFV8 tank on it, one of the first generations of it. Single battery, had the cap that screws on top of the battery.
Oh, God, I think I vaguely think I know what you're talking about.
There was a couple other manufacturers that made mod setups like that.
Yeah.
That was one my wife found. She went to the dollar store one day, come out to the parking lot, on her way back to her vehicle. She found it laying on the ground, brought the thing home. The glass was broken on the tank, and I'm like, okay, well, just bin the tank, and let's take a look at this mod.
It still worked, eh?
It worked just fine.
You should, what some dads sometimes do, you break a glass on one of your tanks, and you know how you get like a spare glass in other tanks. Try some of them, you'd be surprised some of them fit.
Oh, yeah. Because of the vape apocalypse, I have a box of spare glasses for tanks.
Now, why does that not surprise me, Alex?
But then again, the spare glasses that I have are for tanks that have either an RBA deck or are rebuildable to begin with.
Yeah.
Like the Arbiter, I've got 4 or 5, spare glasses for it.
Majority of them are them types. Squeeze fire headlights on the strip either side. Ian Thomas said it was a squeeze fire and it had LED lights in a strip either side of it.
Oh.
Could have been the one. That was a squeeze fire. go. Yeah. See, a lot of people still got their old kit, man. That has neither broke or fell apart.
My wife bought me a plastic bin to put all of the open boxes that I have, you know, like the stuff that's on display here. I had them in like 4 or 5 different cardboard boxes and finally got to put them all into one bin. Keep it organized.
You like me, you keep your empty boxes. I've got boxes and boxes upstairs.
Yeah.
Boxes and boxes. But you do, because all the spares and stuff are in them on. So, you know, at least if it's in the box, you know where it's for, don't you? Instead of just having a blinging box full of spares that you don't know what they're for.
Yeah, I couldn't understand how some people do that. They'll take all the O-rings and stuff and all the Allen wrenches from their stuff and just throw them into a little toolbox. And it's like, well, how you know which O-ring you need to have for your tank?
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if you only got like 2 or 3, okay, I guess you can figure it out, but...
Yeah, but still. It's like, you know, wow, you need the bits for your tanks. I've always kept them, man. I've got boxes for everything. Absolutely everything. I'm a hoarder like that. We have the taste test here.
All right, that's weird.
Okay.
I'm getting a little off taste from this coil. Maybe I didn't dry fire it, or maybe I didn't clean it off well enough. And maybe this thing takes a little time to steep.
Possible. Possibility.
Well, flooding the coil did help. I'm actually getting the flavors. I do get a little bit of peanut. That's the one thing about this Bushido. You can flood the tank where you literally see liquid in the air holes.
Yeah.
And it will not leak out. Because it's a check mark, the way that the airflow is. So it's like, you know, the gooseneck in the bottom of a P-trap for your drain.
Yeah.
The liquid will stay in there, and as you breathe in, it gets pulled up and back into the chamber.
Ah.
So as the chamber gets used up, the liquid stays inside there and doesn't leak out.
Clever stuff, isn't it?
Definitely getting the peanut. Definitely getting the nougat. Not really getting much of this marshmallow. It's not very sweet.
No. I thought it would have been like a sweet vape with the marshmallow in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also not a true marshmallow. That's more of a marshmallow candy.
Yeah.
Those colored marshmallows that don't really have a fruity flavor to them. They just more of a color. Well, I have no idea what they use as far as that marshmallow candy. So we'll have to let this sit here, come back to it, see what it's like next week.
Maybe that steeper touch.
They definitely got the peanut butter right. The peanut flavor. And it's more of a peanut nougat. Like a peanut brittle.
Yeah.
I love peanut brittle. I'm not sure if vaping it's like something I'm going to aspire to do. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
It's a bit hitty-missy, yeah, at the moment.
Just like you said last week, vaping flavors is subjective. Just because I don't care for it doesn't mean you might not care for it. Perfect example is these marmalade and these jam toast, strawberry jam toast. Is it an accurate flavor profile to the name? Oh, yeah. Definitely tastes like strawberry jam on toast. Those are the two basic profiles. And the toast lingers. The strawberry jam doesn't. It's more of the right up front flavor. Just like if you were biting into, you know, strawberry jam on a toast. The first thing you're going to get is the sweetness and the strawberry.
That's right.
And then the lingering flavor in your mouth is going to be that caramelized toast. I don't care for caramelized toast being a lingering flavor in my mouth. Maybe
I had
somebody
it one
else would.
once. Yeah, I had it one once. It was just called jam on toast, and like I say, the jam flavour was great. It was lovely and sweet going on, but the toast tasted like burnt toast. It was like charcoal toast. It was awful.
Can you guys hear Kenny, or do I need to turn his volume up a little bit?
I don't know. Am I sitting too far? Am I all right to you? Like, am I?
No, you're okay.
Yeah. I had a bloody. It was burnt toast. It was disgusting. Lance Ward saying he's got 170 mods and he's got all the boxes. Nice one, mate. Nice one. Jason Cloud of Flavors.
Zeus Juice, new blackberry and custard.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
You were talking to him earlier. I heard you remembering about 4 bottles and a free one.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get caught up on chat here.
See,
My apologies.
It's normally me that ignores chat.
Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews. Hello and welcome. Smock coils are hit and miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people complaining about the smock coils being hit or miss and stuff. And the one that I was talking about earlier about, having that cheap kit I bought for their 10th anniversary, I literally had 2 of them sitting here on my desk, exact same environment, exact same juice and everything, sat here for months and nothing. And then I come into my office one day and the one dumped its entire tank onto the mod and the other one was still fine.
Yeah.
They have duds out there.
Without a doubt. But, it's going to happen when you're mass producing thousands and thousands of whatever. You're going to, something's going to get through the net, innit?
Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews says that he's got 2 AL85s. They're nice little bangers.
Yeah.
Single battery, you can go out and about, slip it in your pocket, not even think twice about it.
That's it, man.
180 watts or 200 if you did a firmware update on it for the Smock Cube.
Hell. Was that did somebody else have a cube out? It took 4 batteries. Who was it? Was it iLeaf or something? Or E-Stick? It was some of them. They had a cube one out.
So the recipe that we just mixed up now is peanut taffy and nougat fluff. All these flavors, with the exception of the marshmallow candy, came from Wonder Flavors' latest assortment pack for their new flavors. It's like $30 at Bull City, and you got like 20 different flavors. I don't even know exactly how many were in there. But you got little 10 ml bottles of them, $30, and you got 20 or 30 new flavors. Throw in your mix.
Damn.
And then before that was the raspberry lemonade, which I will be releasing for that friendly.
By the way, he likes that as well. A lot.
There's always going to be inconsistencies in the cotton thickness and the tightness of everything. And that's true. The manufacturing processes, though, have gotten to be a lot better. One more thing that we're going to open up retro vape-wise. I've been meaning to do this for quite some time.
What we got?
Grim Held
Holy
by Vape
moly.
Fly.
Wow.
Let's flip overhead. The reason why I picked this thing up as part of the Vape Apocalypse was because they have a rebuildable mesh coil that goes inside this. And it's not rebuildable mesh like what you're used to with, an arc that you drop in and then slide the cotton in through. Oh no. This rebuildable mesh comes with the strips and the mesh and a forming tool, and you literally wrap the metal mesh and the cotton around there, and it slides into the coil, and it's just like a stock coil when you're done building it. Airflow comes up right up through the middle, and it's the exact same way. And the advantage is, obviously if you're careful enough, you could pull that out and change the cotton and reuse the mesh. But they sold these rebuildable mesh strips at the 10 pack. So you could literally buy this, and it's the equivalent of buying 10 coils, 10 stock coils. Well, because it was the vape apocalypse, I kind of got carried away.
Oh, God. My God. I think I was talking about that the other week. I think Market Nature Vape, when he done his Nest RDA, and his was like a building a coil like that, and it looked like a sub-ohm coil when you were finished with it.
It's been sitting here for a while and whatnot. It's like, and I had to go jump through hoops to try and find somebody that was still selling it and order this stuff straight from China, from a website over there.
I think it's still a similar scenario when you're building them coils, is make sure that your cotton is touching all of that coil, because you're gonna get a dry hit. But
I think that's the advantage of that cotton strip, though.
Yeah,
it's not like regular cotton.
Yeah, the way you make it, the way you wrap it round, you're getting better contact rather than, you know, pulling a cotton through and hoping that it's touching. With that, you can actually physically wrap it reasonably tight and get a good contact with the metal.
And you need to have the right density of cotton.
Yeah, it can be a bit finicky, I'll give you that.
Nice tall tank.
Ooh.
There's a stock coil. It's a triple.
Yeah. Three coil. What's the resistance on that one?
I'll have to take a closer look at it. .15 ohm, 50 to 80 watts.
0.15. There's no best stat on. I'm not happy. I haven't got a best stat on.
Not in here. And this is an NI80 coil. And in addition to that, in the box, according to the back, it says there should be a 0.2 ohm single mesh coil, also 50 to 80 watts.
50 to 80, yeah. Yeah, that's slipping up. I haven't got a best at 70 watts.
I guess it all depends on how hard you drag on the airflow.
Definitely 0.2, yeah.
You know, if you're a very slow vapor, probably stick with the 50 watts. 55 watts, probably ideal.
You're
but if you like to really draw hard, 75 probably be closer.
Yeah. You're in the right ballpark there for the 0.2. Like, I've probably got a bit warmer on the 1.5. But that's just me.
And that's the stock coil that came with this thing. Now let's open up the... Don't want to put the barcode on there.
Nope. Don't be doing anything like that. You get wrong.
I can't believe they're still out there running the algorithm on everybody's older videos. I heard Nick got whacked for one that was 10 years old. 10 years ago, he did a video on it and got whacked.
This is what I'm saying. That this is the thing that's annoying about it. That they're shifting the goalposts for today's rules and regulations, and the hammering you for rules and regulations that were totally different 10 years ago. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep changing things like that, man.
At what point does it become destruction of history?
Exactly.
Not protecting something.
I mean, you were following, 10 years ago when you made that video, you were following YouTube's guidelines at the time. So why they're suddenly going back historically for today's guidelines, which are ridiculous, or they're getting ridiculous?
Yeah.
There's guys, there's reviews that, they've took videos down and all sorts because of this, and they're all going back. I mean, I think a lot of them are looking, for like URLs or something that's in their videos as well. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's
Really?
a little pathetic.
It's, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, how many of these products are even still available?
Exactly.
It's something made 10 years ago. Are you honestly going to be able to find that?
Or even a coil for it. You may have it, but are you going to find a coil or whatever for it? Probably
Yeah.
not. It's honestly, it's mad, man.
Pretty interesting design the way this thing is set up on here.
I mean, I've never owned a crime held one, but I've heard very good reports on them, and they're supposed to be a good tank.
You can literally rebuild your own stock mesh coil now.
Yeah, it's getting mad, man, isn't it? God, who'd have thought that, man? When the mesh coils come out, everybody thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, didn't they? Look at them now.
Yeah.
You can make your own.
I'll pack it away for now.
Jason, exactly, yeah. But Jason Cloud just touched on some of there. He likes the old videos, especially when he's building something old school that he's getting in a clearance. There you go.
Yeah. I find them interesting because I researched all these ones before I bought them.
Yeah. But I've kind of like touched on something like that in the past. I've said, like, you know, you don't really have to go for all the latest and greatest shinies. You know, you can go and get something that's been out a couple of years and it's still just as good, you know, and it'll be much cheaper. Without a doubt.
I'm wondering how you open this up. This thing just keeps spinning. Looking for another mark to line it up with.
Just a quick shout there to Apathy Miller. Apathy Miller. He's not going to be in chat. He's got to get ready. Head to the hardware store, so he's still working in his kitchen, almost done. So he's just popped in to say hello. In case.
Hello, Apathy Miller. Thank you for stopping by.
He's doing his kitchen, poor bugger.
I'll have to play with this after the show. That top cap isn't coming off.
Ah, right. Ah. Odd.
The other thing that I find old videos really good for is if you have an old tank and you pull it out and you're not sure if, you know, this O-ring is supposed to be here or where's it go.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to find an old review video of a close-up picture of the actual tank when it came opened in the package.
Yeah.
Stock one.
Mm.
Fantastic.
That's an odd one. An odd one. Like I say, I've never had one, so I couldn't even tell you how to get it open.
I heard they were really delicious, really flavorful. Vic did the review on it one. And I think I watched a Jay Hayes video when he got one, and he was actually impressed by the ability to make your own stock coil.
They brung a few devices out, and every one of them's getting good reviews or good ratings. I think they brung one of Sonata ATA out of it. Oh, it's gone off my head now what that one was called.
I've got another vape fly one. It's got that stainless steel rods in there to wick. It's
That's
an
the one
RDTA with
that's
that.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a stainless steel rod and it soaks up. That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember the name if I loved that one.
Oh, it's fantastic. You can even buy the spare coiling tool. Makes me wonder, you know, some of these older stock coils that we've got out there, could I use this vape fly mesh to fit in there and rebuild them?
possibility. I suppose it'd be the holder in it, the bit that's actually fits into the device. I suppose like if you gutted all the inside out and just kept the shell, that metal shell, and maybe just rebuilt it, you may be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
I think that idea has been floating about now for a while. Like, I need how to actually rebuild a stock sub-ohm coil. And you've seen like loads of like little DIY videos where they've stuck the cotton out and stuffed new cotton in and just turned to shit.
Yeah. Well, back in the old days, they had so many coils that were shit to begin with. Exactly. Either they, it was dry hit city or kept flooding or it would leak out of the tank. People had to mess with it to try and get a better outcome. I
remember when people used to stick pinholes in, or whether there's a soak and there were pinholes in to make it soak. Honestly, the stuff you try, man, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Mallory Gates said some people with the RDTAs leave the rods out and use it like an RDA. That's bottom fed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bogan's new burrow mod launched today has 8+ milliliters RDTA style burrow with stainless steel cable for wicking. Looks very promising.
Oh.
That's a rabbit hole I don't think I want to jump into.
Nah. I mean, these blottos were good. I've enjoyed these blottos. They were alright, but
I'm still working on the Blotto Max review.
They're all right.
I really like it. It's better than the old one. No question about it. But then again, my problem with the old one is I put bigger coils in it than what it should have been. It was really finicky to try and get that airflow just right. It's a lot easier on the Max. And it's bigger. That's it.
Yeah. It's pretty much like across the board. I think with the original Blotto, everybody was saying don't put 3 milli coils in, put 2.5 milli coils in, and then honestly it was spot on. A lot of people were complaining getting dry hits because they were using the 3 milli coils because there was just no air getting into it.
Yep. Well, let's take a look at chat, and I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Don't want to go through and do another 3-hour vlog. It's easy to do sometimes, but
it is. You just get carried away, don't you?
Yeah. I appreciate all you guys coming out, hanging out with us for our little vlog and little chat time.
Yep, thank you, boys and girls. Thank you very much.
I won't tell you the flavor because you already know it. It is that good.
He's on the raspberry again. He's on the raspberry.
It's been custard. And this cola still has me baffled. I mix this up. It's another all flavors ingredients. There's no cola in this recipe. There's some sherbet, all kinds of other stuff in there. But the flavor that you get when you vape this thing, even on this old archaic tank, the Sensei. It's a cola. And now that it's been sitting here for a while, it's even better. Just like a cola.
Wow. It's that thing, isn't it? You've got a bit of steep time and it can only get better, innit?
Yeah.
With a bit of steep.
Yeah, it's not fair to do a shake and vape on something like that. It's something that complex.
No. Yeah,
now that it's been sitting here, I'm like, this really is a cola. When it first was like, I'm like, this is kind of like a cola syrup. And it's not a Pepsi. It's not a Coca-Cola. It's just kind of like a generic, 3-liter bottle of soda you buy for a picnic or something.
Yeah, just cheap chatty stuff.
Yeah. Well, now it literally does take like a cola. Like if you were to go to a bar and get a cola, sitting in a rocks glass with some ice in it. Yeah.
Really,
it's delicious.
Really that good. Wow.
Unbelievable.
I can't wait for my stuff to finish steeping. God, Bennett. See, this is why I get impatient with it.
Thank you, Dusty Country Roads. And Great show. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys all coming around and hanging out with us.
Thank you very much, guys and gals.
That's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to need to go and start this review on this Dead Rabbit 3. I'll do the filming of that one, and I'll wrap up the other ones and get them uploaded this week.
Yeah,
Going
you had to catch up.
Camp this weekend for Labor Day. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put a news together. If I get these videos done for the reviews today, maybe tomorrow, maybe I'll throw together an actual Global 20 that's only 20 minutes long. Give myself
hard for you to do.
20 minutes to wrap up 15 stories.
Oh, no.
That was the ultimate goal when I came up with the name for that. Anyway, thank you all for coming on. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us, a little mixing and chilling and chatting. My wish is always peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette combustion. Have a great day.
Take care, guys.
There's something different about us. There's something different about us. There's something different about the way we are. There's something different about the way we are.